Welcome to this week's vlog from St. Paul Lutheran Church of Bulverde, Texas. I'm the senior pastor, Lee Harder. Originally I'd planned to draw a comparison between a news story about a spoiled, self-centered young bride who was going to charge guests $1,500 to attend her wedding. And I might add, the guests included her own family and the wedding party. And I was going to compare her with some news stories I had seen about World War II veterans being honored at some community celebrations. In her case, she apparently had a boorish meltdown on the internet because no one was coming to her wedding, and she had been forced to cancel it. I was going to go with an angle of humility versus self-indulgence. And then I realized there really is no comparison that can be made. Certainly not with World War II veterans. So let me focus on what really matters. These veterans of World War II have few equals, except maybe among their comrades in arms. And their numbers are dwindling more and more with each passing year. The news stories made that point perfectly clear. Now, what made these stories stand out for me was not that these men were being honored by family, friends, and neighbors. I mean, they deserve to be so hailed. No. It was the way total strangers showed them honor and deep respect, with notes and cards filled with words of praise. But more important were their expressions of heartfelt appreciation and gratitude for the sacrifices they made in days gone past. These vets were like my father, who was at Bastogne, the Battle of the Bulge, in that they never really talk about what they endured. They display in their private silence a humility that reflects their upbringing and their faith in the Lord who watches over them and this nation they love. They did what they did, endured what they did, braved the struggles they did, because it was necessary. In humility, tempered by their faith and trust in God, they served. Absolutely, they should be honored. As a pastor, I have been privileged to know many men and women who have served this nation in her times of struggle. From the bitter cold of the Bulge to the steamy jungles of Vietnam. From ships sailing into harm's way to steel cavalry coursing over burning sands. Our military have fought for this country and her people, keeping both safe. They should be honored and thanked for their sacrifices on a daily basis. They pay this price and more because it is necessary. They are tempered by humility and faith, which gives them the courage and strength to do what they must without a self-centered bravado. They do what they do in silent fellowship of arms because it was necessary. This past week, we lost another one of those who humbly served, Senator John McCain. He, too, endured much and spoke very little of it because it was necessary. We honor his memory and his service with gratitude. I know that there are lessons here that we should apply to ourselves as Christians. We, too, are called into service by our God to do what is necessary. We do what we do out of love for his kingdom, and because we have been charged with the sacred duty in his name. So we serve, doing our best in silent humility, denying any glory on our part, but with dedicated commitment to God's purposes because it is necessary. When the time comes, God will honor us with the glory of his eternal kingdom, as he does to all those who love him faithfully in humble service. Today, we do what is necessary because we believe and have faith. And those are my thoughts. God bless.